Alrighty, so I was today years old when I realized that the subreddit that misspells tragedy, I misspelled that word in one of the titles of my videos. And it was like, the way I spelled it was like tragedy, tragedy of Reddit. So, my bad on that. I recorded that one along with I think the previous two the same day, so I was a bit fatigued, and I remember I was typing it out and I thought to myself, man, it kind of looks right, but I don't really know, and I just submitted it anyway cuz I was really pressed for time. So if anyone didn't believe that I was a high school dropout, you for a fact know that I am now. So congratulations. And of course, we're going to start today with where I set up shop at, which is Am I the A-hole? This one, the title is I got dumped, dot dot. Am I the a-hole? Now, when I read that, I thought that this person probably messed up gravely. You know, some type of compounding factors, as in, you've been lying, and then you falsely accuse your woman of something, and then you say something bad about her appearance the next day or something. I don't know. Everybody's got different boundaries, but I really thought this guy was probably the a-hole and he was just heartbroken, so he's just like needing reassurance. Let's get into it. I'm a 31-year-old male, and my girlfriend, or should I say my ex girlfriend, is a 38-year-old female. We've been dating for 4 years. I had plans to marry her one day. I guess it's not going to happen. I got dumped a week prior to our 20-day vacation to. I'm not saying that, but Thailand. Whatever that word is, it sounds a little bit too much like profanity. Thailand, you need to get your head out of the gutter. Just kidding. After I booked our tickets, hotels, trips, etc. Well, the reason I got dumped because I promised I will pay her debt. She borrowed money from her sister before we travel. However, I've booked some fancy hotels so we can enjoy our vacation and kept some money to spend there. She didn't pay for anything. However, I've told her that I cannot pay the whole debt amount due to our vacation. I'm going to pay approximately half the amount next week and then the rest after we come back from our vacation. I mean, that seems pretty reasonable. I mean, it's her debt and you're paying for it, and you set a timeline for it because, you guys have a big expensive trip planned. I mean, this all seems really sensible, right? Well, suddenly she started crying, then told me I've changed. You don't keep your promises and don't care about me, neither my problems. I got super confused. At the end, she took some valuable stuff from our home and then left and blocked me everywhere. Yeah, I'm confused now. This seems like a really big overreaction. Like crazy big overreaction. Like I could understand this type of reaction if you stepped on a Lego maybe, but this is just ridiculous. I've called her from a different phone and she answered. She told me that she doesn't see a future for us and she wants to break up. I'm literally so freaking confused. It's not even her period timing. Man, this poor guy is trying to give this woman every excuse as to why she's acting like this. Long story short, I've told her to unblock me since this is childish, and I will call you 5 days later and see where your head is at. Am I the a-hole? Let me know if you need more info. I might have missed something. Yeah, I don't. So, real quick, I don't know if this guy is like a native English speaker because he made a lot of typos, but like it also kind of seemed like he was just kind of flustered while typing it. You know what I mean? Like everything that happened, and he's like, I just have to like get this off my chest. With that observation aside, NTA, this, this is a crazy overreaction. Like I've been broken up with over things that I thought were pretty minor, but other people didn't think were minor, and this to my opinion is not even it's like a non-issue. She's mad that her debt can't be paid by someone else in a timely manner for her schedule, I guess, which is just bonkers. It is crazy. Imagine getting mad at somebody for paying your debt but they didn't do it when you wanted it to be done. It's like I don't know if y'all ever had this, but man, my parents would get on to me for not cleaning my room, and I would clean it, every week or two. I'd clean it. It just was never when they wanted me to, and I'd always get in trouble for it. And if I open my mouth about it, you already know what it is. It's belt time. It's goofy time. Next, am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for having questionably consented sex with my girlfriend? I didn't even know what to make of this when I read it because having questionably consented sex, question mark, I just had more questions. So I read it and it goes, get it, read it. Anyway, I've been with my girlfriend for almost 2 years now, and we never had sex. We were both virgins, and she says she wanted to keep herself for marriage, which I was well aware of. On our most recent date, things got pretty hot. They usually would until she'd stop it, but this time we kept going. Uh-oh. Now she's gonna claim that you pressured her into it. Before penetrating her, I asked, "Are you sure?" And she said yes. We went at it and had a great time. A couple minutes after we finished, she started regretting it, and now she's mad at me and said that the fact I did it, even though I knew she wouldn't normally agree, means I took advantage of her and basically graped her. Am I the a-hole? What? No. I don't understand this. It's like they were both ready for it, I guess you could say, even though they both wanted to wait till marriage, right? They both wanted to wait till marriage. They both got hot and heavy. And he even asked for like double consent with the "are you sure?" And at any point in time, she could have withdrew consent and she didn't. Just because you regret sleeping with someone doesn't make it SA. I'm just saying. This would be like going on a date with somebody and then you both talk about splitting the bill and the bill comes and the other person's like, "Yeah, I'll split it with you." And then you're like, "Yeah, are you sure? Are you sure? Is this okay with you?" And they say, "Yeah, that's totally fine." And then they ghost you and be all like, "Well, you're a broke boy because you didn't pay for my meal." Like, what was all the talk for before, What was all that for? Just say what you mean, man, or how you feel, and you can't like blame other people because you had a lapse of judgment. It's so stupid. It's like that one post from the girl that had accidentally eaten the edible pudding. It's the same. It's the same situation. You knew better, and you still did it anyway. NTA again. All right. So this next one is from Today I Effed Up. Today I effed up by accidentally showing a nude to a mom while I showed her pictures of her kid. So like when I read this, dude, I'm already I already have reading problems. So when I read this, I was like, okay, let's not add nude and kid into the same sentence. Like what the hell is going on here, But the post goes, "I'm a newly graduated primary school teacher. I'm 22 and I love my job. Today I was monitoring a painting workshop in my residential community with young kids. Two toddlers whose parents are really close friends were looking really adorable painting together. And as the mother in charge of them had her hands busy as she was giving another workshop to other kids, I told her, 'Hey, look, so cute for a picture.' And she answered, 'They do. Take some.' She is not a friend of mine, but we have talked here and there for some years, and I have been responsible of one of her handcraft stands a couple times. I don't really know what they meant there. Maybe I have been responsible for one of her handcraft stands, whatever, handcrafted stand. I don't know. So we could say she trusts me. The thing is, when I went to show her the pictures, I forgot I had a shirtless picture. I am a woman right after the pictures of her kid, which I forgot to erase yesterday as I sent it to my long distance partner. Oh man, I think that's pretty relatable for a lot of people though, actually. When you hand someone your phone and you're like, or when you pull up a picture on your phone and you hand it to someone and then you're just like watching them like a hawk behind you, or like just watching them as a hawk, seeing if they're gonna make that wrong swipe. You know what I mean? Man, and this was on her. because she was being a little negligent. But I mean, man, that's embarrassing. At least in that like really professional setting, man, that sucks. That's really tough. It appeared on screen as we scrolled through the pictures. I immediately went back to the other pictures, and she had no reaction and acted naturally after that, but she obviously saw it. I cannot be more embarrassed, and I think it must feel disgusting knowing a picture of your child is next to an inappropriate picture. I don't know what to do. Should I talk to her? Should I let it be forgotten? Is this too bad? Do you think I upped up my career? Man, it's a tricky situation because people have been fired for less, but I think the one thing that you've got going for you is that you were a woman showing another woman the picture. A woman might have a bit more of an understanding if you talk to her. As I would say talk to her, but God, it's so embarrassing, dude. It reminds me of a time when it was one of the few times that I had a cell phone and I was in high school. I was showing, I don't remember why, but a couple of friends had my phone and they were going through my pictures for some reason. I don't remember why. But I was in high school, so I obviously had some not so great pictures on there. But I also had these pictures of like my broken toe and how it was like at a different angle than the same toe on my other foot. Like my right foot, just that one toe just likes to throw up gang signs basically. But it reminded me of that where I think I was trying to show them a picture of something or something like that. But since we were in class, I couldn't just like pull out my phone and have it. So I'm, trying to like block the teacher from seeing the phone that they're on, which is my phone. And they saw those pictures of my broken toe, man. And they just like were like, ugh, gross. Blah, blah, blah. But thankfully it wasn't in this setting where I could be fired and stuff. And I understand that like, I think most adults have taken nude pictures at some point and probably have forgotten to delete them. That is super embarrassing. Super embarrassing. This next one was on the r/self, which has been recommended to me a couple of times as of late, and some of these are pretty crazy. So it goes, met my Tinder crush today. ... I want to cry. With a header like that, man, you gotta read it, right? You just gotta. And it starts off, I've been talking to this girl for more than a month. She looked cute in her pictures, but looked a little more different in some than others. Just figured some were older than others. I don't know. We have a lot in common. Love for animals, same taste in music, love for the outdoors. We both have stretched ears and tattoos and stuff. And that's not someone you can come by very often where we live. Man, this guy was head over heels before he even got to the date. I've been single and alone for like 8-ish years because I really just don't click with most people. I find most people very basic and annoying. Not to mention most people seem very standoffish in my Midwest city because of my ears and tattoos. I hung out with one girl from Tinder a few times a couple years ago, but she was a little younger and still in her clubbing late nights at the bar phase, and I don't drink anymore and despise clubs. I had 2 serious long-term 5+ year relationships when I was younger, but was a very angry person and a drug addict and sabotaged those relationships. I've grown up and I'm ready to be very good to someone, and I really felt like this new Tinder crush was going to be the one. Man, he already messed up when he saw that they had some stuff in common and that they had that like similar aesthetic, similar interests. That was enough for him. He was like, all right, I'm good to go. Let's do it. I'm gonna marry you. But good on this guy for beating his addiction and trying to be more of an adult, because I know how hard that can be. But I am going to add, what is up with this whole most people are very basic and annoying? I guess since like he's in that Midwest city where, having the gauges and tattoos are seen as some sort of bad thing. So I guess I could see how a lot of people would be basic and annoying in an area like that. It also kind of like when I first read it, it just kind of came off as like this guy kind of looks down on these people basically. But I understand it is really hard finding a person that you click with. It's not easy. We finally met today for a hike, and she doesn't look anything like in her pics. Obviously, the same person. They weren't fakes, but she looks like she put on a bunch of weight, but only in her face? Oh man, that's tough. Dude, that sucks for both of them because you got to think like this person's probably self-conscious and that's why they had those pics where they looked very different and so they were just trying to make a select amount of what they thought they looked best in, and maybe they were older photos, and it sucks. Like I know people that, you know, when they do put on weight it's mostly in their face, and that sucks because that's like one of the worst places to like put on weight. She's not fat, but she was caked up in makeup. I replaced drugs and alcohol with fitness. Her Tinder says gym as a hobby, and like I said, she's not overweight but clearly not very fit either. I don't know. I'm so frustrated. I wasn't attracted to her at all and really wasn't expecting that. I already bought tickets for our Deadpool and Wolverine yesterday before we met, and we're meeting up in an hour for the movie. I don't know how to proceed. I feel so frustrated and defeated. I also feel incredibly shallow and rude as that I've pretty much already decided to unmatch and ghost this girl after the movie just because she's not pretty enough. Well, at least she's self aware, you know? And I mean, at the end of the day, if you just don't feel that attraction anymore after looking at them, I mean, it's tough, but it happens sometimes, especially with like online dating. I don't know how her face has changed so dramatically from her pics. I hate the idea of ghosting anyone, especially after all the talking we've done and how well suited we seem for each other. But I don't know. Feels a lot more mean to just tell her she's not pretty as her pics. So I'm not interested either. I'm also really getting tired of being alone AF. I work alone. I live alone. I don't see or speak to what few friends I still have. I don't know what to do. Any advice is welcome, but not expecting any magical answer. I just really needed to vent this, I guess. I mean, the guy has a little bit of a right to be upset that he got unintentionally catfished. You know, that's not going to make anybody really happy. And then to be disappointed with the results of the catfish is even a bigger, you know, I guess, slap in the face. And normally, under normal circumstances, I would say this guy is probably a douche, but seeing as how he's self-aware of how douchey he sounds, I don't think that it's really, it's more, I think this guy just has the culmination of like, you know, he's alone all the time and he had these really high expectations. They weren't met. In fact, they were the opposite of what he was expecting. So, you know, yeah, you're going to be disappointed. And I mean, ultimately, a lot of people have different standards. You know, if you think that physical attraction is more important than inner beauty, or if you date people for money or whatever, everybody's got different standards, right? So, I mean, in my opinion, there isn't really a magical answer. The best that you can do is just say, hey, like, okay. So I heavily value honesty, but in this circumstance where you know that what you're going to say in terms of why you're not interested is just going to hurt this person, I would just say, hey, sorry, I got a lot going on right now and I don't really have time to date. You're really cool, blah, 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 blah. And then just kind of slowly distance yourself. It's not the greatest thing to do because you might end up leading her on or something like that. But it's just one of those difficult things to navigate, I guess, because you know honesty is going to hurt this person, and you want to have empathy. So I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know. The way that I would handle this is not the best, but it's how I would handle it because I value honesty, but I also value not hurting other people, you know? So when those things collide, man, it's just like, why do I have to choose? Why does it have to be one or the other? Best of luck to you, guy. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today. If you want me to visit any other particular subreddit, be sure to leave a comment. And Do the thing that other YouTubers tell you to do at the end of their videos. Appreciate ya, and I'll catch you later.